Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how you guys can climb in gold/platinum. You guys loved the last couple educational commentaries that we've done, so we're doing another one, and to throw a little bit of extra spice into this, I'm actually solo queuing with a pretty bad legend in the meta right now. So if you guys want to learn how to climb, stick around, but just quickly, if you guys really want to get better at Apex, then you need to check out the Game Leap website right now. Over there we have the best, most highly informative guides made from top level players. Our coaches have been Predator, they've been to ALGS finals, they've played against the best of the best in this game, and they've learned a lot in doing so, and they're sharing that knowledge with you. We've already helped a bunch of people hit new peak ranks, and you can be next, so click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to climb today. But okay, with that out of the way, let's hop straight into things, and I do want to talk about why I'm using Revenant quickly. Some people might be wondering, is Revenant secretly broken? Why did you pick him? And no, he's not broken, he's actually really bad. Right now in the meta, there's nobody that really synergizes with him well, and Revenant does require another legend to help him get into fights when he's using his ultimate, so you don't waste half the time just running at someone. Plus, on Olympus, there's a lot of really open sight lines. Revenant doesn't really do well on this map, so that is exactly why I'm playing him. I want to show you guys that you can climb even with a bad legend as long as you know kind of what to do. So with that covered, let's hop into the gameplay now, and the first thing in the game that I actually want to talk about is my drop spot. This is something that I see hold a lot of low elo players back. They don't actually really think about their drop spot. They just kind of pick a spot that they want to go to and say, yeah, we're gonna go here. Even if there's like 10 other teams dropping there, they just try to force it. In this game, my teammate is the jump master, and I like that a lot more because he actually does a reaction drop. He sees that there are two teams going to fight night, so he drops us in a POI right next to fight night that has nobody going to it. I see a lot of people afraid to do this because they don't want to land in quotation marks late. But if there's nobody else going to that POI, you're not going to be landing late because there's nobody there. Nobody's beating you there if nobody's dropping there. And on a map like Olympus, this is a fantastic strategy to allow you to get a ton of KP and then play it out for the late game. Because you're not competing with anybody off your drop, but two teams that are near you are going to be fighting. You can then roll in for some easy cleanup kills, and that's exactly what we do. Now my team is able to loot up for free, and then once we hear the fighting in fight night, that's when we start to actually make a move on it. You don't want to go too early because you don't want to become the center of attention. You want to kind of time it so that the two teams are actually committed on each other and you can just go clean up. And this is actually a mistake that I make because I overcommit to the fight a little bit too early and I get a little too overzealous. I see a Loba bracelet in, I try to go for her because she's singled out, and I actually end up getting melted by the Havoc. It's just something that I was not expecting. But this is a perfect example where you guys can learn from my mistakes because I'm human, I make mistakes as well. But you guys shouldn't be afraid to make a mistake. What you should be afraid of is not learning from that mistake. So if you do something wrong, just put that into your mental notes, figure out what happened, where you can fix it, and then go from there. That's how I'm constantly improving as a player, and you guys can do it as well. Thankfully, the other two teams that are in this area are not in any positions to actually capitalize off of me going down, so my team is able to res me and we're able to reset off of that. Once we reset, we're able to push the team directly across from us and we're able to wipe them. Just because I went down, that doesn't mean that the game's over. I see a lot of people get into these situations where they try to kill somebody, they end up going down from a third party, they get tilted, and then they just play off their emotions the entire rest of the game. Don't let that happen to you. If I'd given up, we probably wouldn't have won this game, but because I kept my head in the game, I didn't tilt, we're able to just get a bunch of kills off this. Now next up, we're going to be moving a little bit forward into the game. There were a few fights that I'm not going to be covering because there's not a whole lot that I can really talk about and teach you. They're just pretty standard fights. But this next fight that I'm going to be talking about is a prime example of one of the things that I kind of preach to solo queue players and anyone that really wants to climb in gold/platinum. And this is to not be the hero. I see way too many people think that they are that guy. They think that they're built different and they try to just run into situations that they shouldn't be running into, and they end up throwing the game for their team. Now in this situation, me and my team do have a strong spot in zone, but there's a team with charge rifles and they've been poking at us and it's just kind of been annoying, but we've been doing a lot of damage to them. We realize that we have the armor advantage on them and they are in a pretty bad spot. So my teammates start to position up on them a little bit. My Bangalore throws her ultimate out, but I'm still holding back a little bit. I've still got a really good sight line on them. I've still got the ability to do some damage even though my teammates are nowhere near me. But once I see that my teammates really actually do want to commit onto this fight, they're not just positioning on this team, that's when I start to make the play to go help them. I throw my ultimate down and use the existing Pathfinder zipline to get to the enemy team a lot faster. But because I'm in my ultimate shadow form, I can be a little bit more aggressive than my teammates can. I'm not an as much danger. So I'm taking a wider angle in a more open position to try to draw the attention onto me so my teammates can push up for free, and we end up doing a lot of damage onto the Catalyst, and then we also do a lot of damage onto their Wraith. They all have to back up, they're all hurt, so this is where me and my team can actually start to push in. Now I do lose my shadow form, and this is where the not being a hero really comes into play. If I just run headfirst to that team, I probably would have been sent back to my totem, which was a fair distance away, so my team would be in a 2v3, or if I'd gone in after my shadow form was down, I didn't have a whole lot of health, so they could have potentially team fired against me, and then I would be down and my teammates again are in a 2v3. But because my teammates have so much more health than I do, I just keep playing the wider angles. I let them be the aggressive side of this. They have more health than I do, and they have smokes or phases to get out of things. So I just stay on my side, I stay doing a bunch of damage, and I push this team away and help my teammates get some kills. It doesn't matter if you get a kill or an assist, you are still getting KP from that. So who cares if you have 20 assists, because that just means you still have 20 KP. If you guys truly want to climb an Apex, especially if you're a solo queuer, you have to get it out of your head that you need to be the hero. This is something that is really holding you guys back in your climbs. And once you get out of that mental space, you will see that fights are actually a lot simpler than you think they are, because you're not trying to make the play 24/7. But okay, now let's jump forward again and show you guys how to close games out. Another huge issue that I see with gold players is they can sometimes get to the end game situations, but this is where they panic, they lock up, they deer in headlights it, and they don't know how to actually finish a game strong. Now in this game, for some reason, I don't know why, nobody had taken any of the buildings in the final zone. There were teams around, somebody could have easily taken one of these buildings, but they didn't. That is a huge mistake that the other teams made, and this is something that you guys have to capitalize on. When other teams make mistake, you need to snowball it. So that is why me and my team, we just keep moving through these buildings. We grab a little bit of extra loot, but we establish our presence in these buildings, and we keep teams out of this final zone here. You don't want to let anybody walk in for free. If we had just held one building, somebody could potentially take another one of the buildings, and that wouldn't be good, because now we're kind of in a standoff. And if one other team throws into us, the other team can then come into third party and they win, and that's something that happens to a lot of players. But now you guys know, show presence, keep people out of the circle, don't let anybody take stuff for free. But as we're kind of setting everything up and establishing ourselves, I do notice that there's a Wraith kind of on the edge of zone solo. I don't want to let her get back to her team for free, so I just start sending shots at her. Now this might come as a surprise to some people, but right here I'm not actually looking to kill the Wraith, I'm just looking to get some damage out on her. I want to make sure that that Wraith knows that this is not a safe spot, so I want to force her into the other teams. If I keep forcing her into the other team, that forces them to fight, we're not the priority, and then I can potentially third party for the easy win. And it doesn't even matter if the other team does end up stealing the kill on the Wraith, because I will give up 1 to 2 KP in order to get a free win. I'm not going to throw myself into something that I don't have to just to get 1 KP, it's not worth it. I'd rather get the win, I'd rather get the big RP. And that's exactly what happens in this game. We just keep forcing this team around the corner, and they end up running into the other enemy team that's holding the ramp. Now the ramp team does end up getting the knock on the Wraith, so yes, we lose the KP on that. But this sends that team's Octane into a spiral, and he has no idea what to do. He just keeps hitting himself with stim, taking more and more of his health away, and my team is able to just kind of chase him down for a free kill. There was nothing that Octane could do. My team had so much real estate that there was nowhere for him to go. He kept panicking, and we just got that free KP. But the game is still not over. There is still another enemy team that we have to worry about. And right now they are starting to look to position. So I join my teammate on the roof of a building, and I use Revenant's passive to climb to get a different angle. You always want to take different angles from your teammates whenever you can, because you can set up crossfires, you can have different team shooting abilities. Both of those are very strong, and if you get a really good crossfire, people aren't expecting it and you can get a kill very quickly. And thankfully the Gibraltar on the enemy team does not use his dome to try to heal, so he is able to get taken out extremely quickly. This opens up an opportunity for me and my team to then push to keep snowballing the advantage that we have. Now unfortunately I did have a Bangalore on my team that did throw her ult, and that does kind of throw us off because I can't really push into the Bangalore ult. If it goes off while I'm still in it, I'll get shell shocked and I might potentially be a free kill. And if I get knocked, we've turned the fight from a 3v2 to a 2v2. So unfortunately I have to hang back, and that does give the enemy team time to res the Gibraltar. But unfortunately for the enemy team, it's still not enough for them. The Gibraltar gets up, he throws his dome down, but all three of them are focused on my teammates. So I'm able to get a really good off angle, play the bubble, get some nice PK shots in, and 10 and 9 damage shot in, and then the Mad Maggie gets caught out in zone and dies to it, so we're able to get a very nice win off of this. Gold and Platinum players make a ton of mistakes in their game, and hopefully now you can kind of see some of those mistakes and help catapult yourself into a new elo. But let me know what kind of educational commentary we should do next in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Once again, Amazing Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one.